if that literacy issue is fixed. So I just turned the camera on and it can't see me, but I'm gonna repeat it again. That the sign on the subway the other day said that there's 2 million New Yorkers that do not have their high school diploma. That means out of the nearly 9 million people, that 2 million of them are can't read or write. Then again, I think that the city really needs to very hardly implement a program within. I know there's a lot of people here from other countries and different parts of the world, but if they need to implement a program where maybe it'll take a little more than a year. Year one, you learn to read and write, and by the end of year two, you have your high school diploma that will really cut out issues with, I think, customer service issues as well, housing issues, miscommunication issues. I really think that will help the city out a lot. Do you have anything you want to say about that again? You pretty much said it, but
Yeah, maybe we should go to like a campaign for literacy.
huh?
Maybe we should go to the campaign for literacy.
Yeah, but it needs to be more than just like some like minuscule like thing that's happening in some little office of the city. It needs to be like a strong like implementation, like immediate implementation that really allows all of that those 2 million people. If we're not just talking about kids that haven't made it to high school yet, we're talking about adults. Just think about the five boroughs and problems that it has, maybe with communication, confusion, as far as in communication, customer service, as far as housing problems, and maybe issues of slum lordship, if I may. Those are two issues that might directly relate to miscommunication and the problem of miseducation. So, handling the issue pretty much immediately and widespread would really help. I'm not really into this field that we're talking about. Of course, I have my own company and I'm working on my career as a YouTube star, but I really think, I mean, I'm concerned. I really think that needs to be handled. That would fix big problems with the city, you know? So, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Do you have anything else to say about it? But do you agree with me though?
About the GED thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, if not GD, like, cause I remember when I first got to Jersey, right, and when I was 18 years old, I went for my high school diploma, so it was like that. It's like a class where you actually get your high school diploma instead of the GED. I never did complete the class. I ended up just taking the GED course, which was a lot easier. But the class was easy. It wasn't that the class was hard to me. It was just that it was long distance. It was like in Morrisville, and I was in Newark, so it's like I was riding an hour on the train, and it was a long journey. So eventually, I don't know, maybe just like the spirit of the universe is some one day just kind of like directed me to the GED testing center, which pretty much the same day I took the test and passed it. Wasn't that hard. I mean, I just kind of remember some of the stuff from, from my education from when I did go to school. Pretty, I guess I was there the right days that I was able to pick up those core uh, that general core knowledge that I was able to pass those particular things that were on that GED test. But um, I don't know. It's just I'm concerned. I know there's people from Ecuador here. There are people from different parts of Spain and different parts of all over the world in New York City. And communication, I imagine that there are translators here. So the program would have to implement translators from all languages. If you look at one of my YouTube videos, for example, JesusFilm.org, I went to a church in Cary, North Carolina, and I met a guy there named Andrew. He was talking about how he just got back from filming a project called JesusFilm.org, and I mentioned this the other day. But since the camera's on, I'm mentioning it again. That JesusFilm.org translates the gospel into 1,600 languages, right? So why not be able to have if necessary, that many translators with this new program that I'm talking about, and really implement the people being able to get the education they need. Now, I know that there is a group of people that have made it and will make it without education. For example, I made it in my senior year of college, and now I have a company that I'm trying to draw in billions and billions and possibly trillions and trillions and as much money as exists because God says it, and I can have anything that I want. And so I asked him, and I'm believing that he can do it. So beyond limits, money beyond limits, but hoping that I can draw that type of money into the company somehow. But the other examples, the book I just finished reading, Dean Graziosi, he never got his diploma. Of course, Bill Gates is some type of example considering that he didn't graduate from college. But there are people that didn't even get their high school diploma that are successful as well. So I know that there are options. I'm not saying that these people are completely idiotic and just don't understand anything. I'm pretty sure they have core knowledge and intellect that would allow them to, achieve in their own right. But at the same time, I'm just saying that as far as certain issues are concerned, I do believe that the education program would help. The education program would help. So I just wanted to say that I guess I've got it all on camera, so I can turn this thing off. Did it play as clear with the camera on as it was as the conversation before I turned the camera on? Wasn't it a little bit more like natural and
Yeah,
like what's the word, earthy or something before I turned the camera on? Anyways, hopefully this point somebody will see this video. Someone at the New York administration, the New York State administration, or the New York City administration, or someone um, will see this video and will implement it. I mean, they should get the sign in all 1,600 languages. If they could put that sign on the subway about the 2 million people being illiterate, why not get the sign in 1,600 languages and load the trains and buses with it, and cities with it, in the city with it? That's my suggestion.